students. In this class, we came for another question. It is also very important. So many students, how many times they will be going to study also, so they can't able to understand. They will be repeating asking this question. That's why I did this question. Okay. So the explain about the cardiac cycle. So cardiac cycle. So, one contraction and one relaxation of atria and ventricles is called as cardiac cycle. So, this cardiac cycle is nothing but how heart it has to be going to work. It will explains that. So, this cardiac cycle it has to start at the age of when we are at the mother's womb. So, in the embryonic stage itself, at the 21st day it has to be going to starts. Okay, so this cardiac cycle it has to be if this cardiac cycle at that time 21st day to till the death of our life it has to be continuously occurring. Okay, if this cardiac cycle it has to be going to stop, so we have to take a permanent rest. It means that we'll be going to die. Okay, so this cardiac cycle it will be having two phases. So the active phase, we are calling it as systole. When it will be going for contraction, so that we are calling it as systolic phase. Contraction phase or systolic phase. So the resting phase is calling it as diastolic phase. Diastolic phase. So generally for understanding purpose, if any cycle in the sense, if we are going to understand in the sense, so it will be having a starting point and it will be having a ending point. But this it will be starts at 21st day of embryo, but it won't be going to stop till the death. So then how can we'll be going to understand for understanding purpose? So this cardiac cycle they has to divide it into four stages. So the first stage is joint diastole, atrial contraction or atrial systolic phase, ventricular systole and atrioventricular diastole. We start with the imagination that all the four chambers of the heart are relaxed state. Blood from vena cava and pulmonary veins enter the right and left atria respectively. Now the atria contrast, forcing the blood to enter into the ventricles. When the ventricles are filled with the blood, they start contracting and atria start relaxing. On ventricular contraction, due to pressure, the blood moves into the aorta and pulmonary artery. The aperture between the atria and ventricles is closed by the walls. When the walls are closed forcefully, we can listen the first sharp sound, that was lub. When the ventricles start relaxing, the pressure inside the ventricles is reduced. The blood which has entered the arteries tries to come back into the ventricles. The walls which are present in the blood vessels are closed to prevent the backward flow of into the ventricles. Now we can listen the dub sound. The atria are filled up with the blood and are ready to pump the blood into the ventricles. The sequential events in the heart will are cyclically repeated. Hope you people understood that video. Okay. So joint diastole and everything it has to be when we'll be getting a lub sound and when we'll be getting a dub sound. So when the two walls, the tricuspid and bicuspid walls are going to close, at that time we'll be getting a lub sound. And the pulmonary and systemic walls are going to close, at that time we'll be getting a dub sound. Okay, so a heartbeat will be a lub dub only, no? Okay, so for one cardiac cycle, it will take a 0.8 seconds. It means that for all the stages, it requires 0.8 seconds. So for atrial contraction, it takes 0.11 to 0.14 seconds. For ventricular contraction, it will be 0.27 to 0.35 seconds. So if you are seeing these two, if you are combining, we won't get any 0.8. So then how it will be in the sense. So generally, if we are hearing our heartbeat, lap lap dub, it means that it will be having some gaps. So those gaps you are calling it as sputs. Those gaps you are calling it as sputs. Hope you people are understood this class. Thank you. Please subscribe and please like the video. Thank you.